involved. And tell me a little bit more about West Michigan Miracle League.
Sure. So the Miracle League is a special brand of baseball that allows kids with mental and physical disabilities to be able to play. So, you know, these are kids that are marginalized in school. You know, oftentimes they're not in regular ed, or if they are, you know, nobody plays with them at recess. They don't have a lot of friends. And for most of the kids that play Miracle League baseball, this is the only chance they're ever going to have to be on an organized sports team. And there are more than 250 Miracle Leagues across the country, including 4 in Michigan. And what we are doing is we're raising money. We're actually now have enough to start building our field up in Rockford. And this September, we're going to celebrate our opening day of Miracle League baseball here in West Michigan for these kids that otherwise would never have a chance to be in a sports team. And one of the things that I think is really important about what we're doing, there are really 2 key features. Number one, it really helps to include these disabled kids into opportunities that non-disabled kids have. And I think that that's really going to serve to break down stereotypes of disabled kids that they're not interested in sports, they can't play sports. What's wrong with that kid using the walker or in the wheelchair? When non-disabled kids see their peers out there playing baseball, they now have something more in common with them. And so I'm excited about having that opportunity to share with the non-disabled community. We all have our own differences, and the fact that somebody has trouble walking or talking or whatever their disability might be doesn't really make them all that much different than you. And the other thing that I think is really important about what we're doing is we're empowering these kids and giving them self-confidence that comes with being on a sports team. These kids, a lot of them will never have this opportunity. By giving them the opportunity to succeed at something that they never thought that they could do, that's going to give them confidence and self-esteem, so that in the next challenge in school, they, you know what, I was able to play baseball and I'm excited about that. I'm going to take on this new challenge, this new opportunity. The self-esteem, the self-confidence, the teamwork that comes from being on a team, the physical activity, the friendships that we developed through sport, the opportunities for mom and dad and grandma and grandpa to come and celebrate what this special child can do instead of worrying about what this child can't do. It's just a real special opportunity that we're going to have to bring to West Michigan.
Let me now turn to you guys from Grand City Sports. And again, you are, like all the others, are kind of going after those marginalized, those that are missing out on the opportunities the other kids seem to get, or the opportunity to have. So tell me a little bit about what Grand City is and what they do.
For us, Grand City, first off, it's an acronym. The city is an acronym for Committed to Influencing Today's Youth, and we do that through sports. Crowdson and myself, we've been best friends since 8 years old. I live my NFL dreams vicariously. But we put in a lot of work for the African American male. Sports and athletics kind of put us on a fast track. We come from an environment that's plagued with violence, and if any of you guys are from the Grants area, we've been hit pretty hard these last month or so. But we come from that, and we know for us, it was often said that we would be dead or in jail by 25. And so I happen to have a master's degree. I earned my master's degree by the time I was 24. But I wrote my own ticket in life early on to do some things, and I chose to do it through sports. And so Grand City, we restore and refocus at-risk youth by emphasizing education through sports. We are sports lovers at heart, and we feel that gives you the tools that you need, the esteem that you need, and everything else that you need to be a successful adult, a civic leader, a responsible person. The adversity you go through in sports, it teaches you how to bounce back to the adversity you go through as an adult in the working place, for instance. Just some of your students, when they get out of school, the workplace will want to know, can they work well with others? Well, sports, when you play a sport like football in particular, like we did, you learn how to coexist with a team. You learn how to lead. You learn how to follow. So when we become working professionals, we're often revered as, man, they're great workers, they're hard workers, but we have a work ethic that's far different from average people, because we were molding ourselves that way since 8 years old. And Grand City is just a tool that we use to reach at-risk youth from all walks of life, through football, basketball, and community outreach. We believe that giving back builds character, and we take athletes, we take marginalized individuals, and we put them in position in here in the heart of Grand Rapids to partake in opportunities where they're doing something for someone less fortunate than them, as well as coming to our sporting events, being around NFL guys. He's one, but there's several more that's a part of the group. So that's it in a nutshell.
Very sure.
And also, you know, I'm part of Grand City as well, but I work in the school system as well too. So every day is, you know, I'm building relations with some of my students. So my daily job is basically, I keep track of students. Another thing is, with sports helped us so much throughout life. And my thing is, I like to promote and I like to push kids to play sports. Because sports, you know, keep you out of trouble. You know, I don't know if you know the Wyoming Lead District, but it's low income based, poverty. It's not that much violence, but it's a lot of negative things in that district. So my thing is, I tell the students to play sports because it keep you busy. You know, and a lot of things with kids now today is they go to school, but they don't have nothing else to do. And it's not just sports. It could be joining a chess club, being in a band. You know, after you go to practice and you do those things, you're not gonna have as much time to do whatever, to be in the streets or get into trouble, because you're gonna be tired after you go to school, you go to practice, and you go do your homework. It's time to go to sleep. You know, so those are some of the things I like to do to push some of my students in that aspect. And you know, football is my passion. I played football. We both played football since we was little. So, you know, I've been coaching high school football for the last 5 years. The last 2 years I've been coaching at Catholic Central. Past 2 years we won this conference championship. Also been a part of combine clinics, training receivers. Since I've coached for 5 years, I helped get receivers into college, at least 10 of them, scholarships. Matter of fact, just the other day was this big signing day. You know, at Catholic Central we had 5 kids go to school for free. You know, and those are some of the things that make me happy, you know, make me smile when I see players I work with receive that scholarship. Or else kids I help out at Lee High School that struggle in academics, that help them, that couldn't get a 2.0 GPA to play a sport. Now these kids getting 3.4s, 3.0s. You know, that's the type of things I like to do, and that's what I'm excited, and that's what Grand City is all about.
And let me turn to Deanna and Jason a bit, because you guys talked about coaching a little bit too, in the role of not only as a program director or manager, but the role that a coach plays in developing and impacting and in promoting things other than just sports. So I'd like to hear from the two of you all on your experiences in using sports for non-sports purposes in some sense.
Right. We're fortunate that we get to hopefully influence the kids in our program. Not only are we trying to build, you know, a great volleyball program, but you know, at the Division II level, the emphasis is on balance. If you go to the NCAA website at Division II athletics, you're going to see a mission statement there that talks about balance, and it talks about community service as being part of that thing that the student athlete needs to balance. And it's emphasized a lot more at the Division II level. I have people that ask me all the time, you know, you stated that I'm starting my 19th year at Grand Valley. There's a reason I've been 19 years at Grand Valley. You know, there's certainly opportunities to move up to be at the Division I, but I feel that there's factors there that are probably a greater influence on, would be a greater influence on my career. Money, one of them. I mean, Division I athletics is very financially driven. It makes a lot of money for a lot of people. That's not our focus at Division II coming in the door. And to be given that opportunity to be around kids like you guys every single day, that we can help plug into these type of organizations and groups and kind of see that growth and development, and they bring it back to the gym. It helps them be better athletes, it helps them be better teammates, and to be quite honestly, in volleyball, it probably is a pretty elitist sport. We have kids that, there are the few that come through that may have some financial struggles at home or come from underprivileged areas, but in our sport, we're talking about kids that come from pretty affluent schools. Their parents pay thousands of dollars a year for them to play club volleyball. They travel all around the country. They get brand new uniforms every season, brand new shoes, and a lot of them have never really been exposed to someone that doesn't have those things, that's never experienced those things. And so I think being a part of a four-year institution, I think it's not only the athletic department, but I think campus-wide, there's such a huge opportunity in that age group to really, really influence these kids to how important it is to give back and how much, to step outside themselves. We talk about that all the time. We need to teach our kids to be good self-evaluators and to be always, being active in wherever they're at. I don't care if you're sitting on a bus, actively be there, be a part. Don't just be a bystander and let every life pass you by. So I would like to think that that's not just the volleyball program at Grand Valley. I know that it's preached from our leader, Tim Selgo, our athletic director, and from all the support staff within. It's just something that every program is really emphasis is community service and giving back.
Want to add to that at all?
Yeah, I guess I'll go a little different direction. As you pointed out, I've been with the Grand Valley program for 14, 15 years now, but I actually took about a 3-4 year hiatus where I ran one of those elitist clubs in Grand Rapids, and was given the opportunity, thought it was a great opportunity at the time. I learned a lot from it, grew a lot from it, but I think what I've taken away from it and coming back to the collegiate level is where I like this age group. I joke all the time. I'm married. I have a wife who's an elementary school student or teacher, and an elementary school teacher. But I joke that her and I are very different. I work very well with a college age group. I enjoy engaging at that level. I enjoy being able to influence at that level. And what I've been able to do with this opportunity after coaching in a club that reached out to the community, I've now, I run leagues that take place throughout Michigan and Indiana, and I have partnered with somebody who we are now funneling the proceeds of that into a nonprofit foundation that is going to start giving back into high-risk, low SES areas, and we're going to try to build that up a little bit more. I've been working with Grand Rapids Publix a little bit to try to now put coaching clinics together. I run a free camp in the summer over at Union High School, and I think what I have learned being away from the collegiate level was that there's a lot of need that has to be given back. And from my education now, I finish up my master's degree at the end of the semester, and then I've now probably bitten off a little more than I can chew with all the things I've decided to put my hands into, but I realize how much influence I actually do have.